ever again. Because once I've seen your penis, it's just like, man, I just don't want to watch this shit. Okay, what did he do, man? What did he do?
This scumbag IRL influencer can now be facing up to multiple decades in prison in the Philippines, all because he live streamed himself harassing strangers in the street, mall security guards, and stealing multiple items, including a mall security bike.
Yeah, maybe we just like stop doing that. Bro. This shit's embarrassing. Bro, is it really that hard to be a functioning member of society? If, oh my God, my viewer count's going down, I gotta go harass somebody. I gotta go disrespect the culture. Is it really that hard? Brother, just stay in your fucking lane, enjoy the environment, and maybe for once in your life, just be a real fucking human being.
I just remind you that we can have questions given to the Secretary for only the agendas that we would be tackling today.
Batas niya, sabi ko, ay doon muna siya mananatili sa Bureau of Immigration Detention Facility sa Muntinlupa habang siya ay nag-iintay.
Vlogger who was apparently, as reporters have written, smug even after his arrest. Coming vloggers who do that for show, right?
For clout.
For clout, for show. What did he violate?
The fucking Secretary of the Interior said for clout. This guy knows.
Yeah, he understands.
I was like, oh shit, this guy's clout brained. He knows
show,
about it.
I mean,
right?
This
For
is
clout.
proof that Vitaly
For
is
clout,
stupid.
for show.
He's in over. This man knows about clout.
Like to a certain extent,
He's clouded
him
out.
going there and being a fucking menace for content. Like I understand what he's thinking, right? It's like you're trying to get views. But at this point, why keep being smug? I bet if you stood there and like really show that you regret it, they'd go easier on you probably.
They probably would be more inclined to go easier. I don't
Yeah.
know if they would, but
Yeah.
it certainly would be a good idea.
It definitely seems like it's worth a try from Vitaly.
Give me right. Yes, you're gonna think about it.
Ang isa pa nating nakita ngayong linggo, yung kagalit-galit na pinanggagawa ng isang foreign vlogger sa ating mga kababayan.
I'm gonna f***ing rob you.
Biro man na ito o hindi, sino naman Pilipino ang hindi kukulo ang dugo sa napapanood natin?
One of the things that we have recently seen are the infuriating actions that a foreign vlogger has been doing to our countrymen. Whether these acts were jokes or not, what Filipino couldn't get mad at these?
I want to see an overwhelming majority of MAGA influencers deported to the Philippines. How can we make this happen? How can we get these toxic, traitorous parasites, the MAGA influencers, how can we get them to the Philippines so they can finally get some consequences for their actions? Now, this is the one situation where I would kind of agree with some of the things that we hear from some of these very same parasites. They talk about empathy being a problem. You know, Vitaly is looking at some pretty serious circumstances in terms of the prison conditions, you know, a lot of his life being taken away. So because I'm not a savage like a lot of these MAGA influencers, I actually have a heart. And part of me wouldn't wish what Vitaly is going to experience on anyone. Right? Regardless of anything he's done or said, he's a human being. And from what I'm hearing, the prison that he's going to be in, they're going to treat him like he's just less than human, shall we say. And it's a little bit of a conundrum for me because, again, I don't really support any human being being treated this way. However, here is the problem. People like Vitaly, people like Trump, people like Steven Crowder, people like Tim Pool, people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, the Somali guy, and many others of these savages. They don't respond to anything or anyone. As long as they're getting views and the money's coming in, they in many ways, operate above the law. They do whatever the hell they want to, and no consequences. Look at Tim Pool. This guy was taking money directly from Russia. Taking money from Russia. And he's able to just hand wave it away. Oh, I didn't know, and this and that. And he's back to doing the same bullshit. The thing about it is, in order for us to live in a society, in a functioning society, there has to be consequences, right? We can't have most of the population abiding by rules and suffering consequences. I can't just do whatever I want to do. 99% of the people listening to this video can't just do whatever they want to do, right? We have to reside within the lines of acceptable behavior in society. We have to consider others other than ourselves, right? If I go around just slapping people in the face, I'm going to end up in jail. I'm going to have problems with employment, right? I have to conduct myself in a civil manner, right? Now, no one's perfect, so people have their moments, right? But it's just wild, wild west with this influencer class. And if they're just going to continue doing what they're doing and don't care for anybody else but themselves, no matter the damage to the country, no matter how many lives they ruin, no matter how many people that they hurt through their content. And that's the thing, it's not just content, it's not just jokes. It's not just we're asking questions. What they're doing has serious consequences. That they operate as the mouthpieces of the billionaire class, the 1%, the elites, who are robbing the poor and giving the money to the very rich, putting people closer and closer to the brink, while people like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder and Vitaly, all these people getting wealthy, more and more money, doing their destructive, toxic content. Above the law, I can just do whatever I want to do, right? And the more disgusting that we see any of these influencers, just in general, across the board, whatever spectrum it is, whether it's in the automotive world, whether it's in the gaming world, whether it's in the motivational world, the more disgusting and dishonest we see these influencers, the more MAGA friendly they are, right? When I saw Grant Cardone at that Trump event in Madison Square Garden, I wasn't surprised at all, right? Scammers and frauds, they are MAGA. That's what MAGA is. MAGA is for the worst of America. The absolute worst of America. The people that don't believe in our Constitution, don't believe in our country, don't believe in our government, the most anti-American people in this country, that is MAGA, led by the Antichrist himself. I was raised in a very religious family. My father was a pastor for all of his life, or almost all of his life. So I know exactly what Trump represents to people who really follow the Bible. He is the Antichrist that is written in the Bible. Going around 2 Corinthians on the godly nation and this and that, right? Playing the evangelicals for fools, having a bunch of people in his administration with their stupid crosses around their neck, have his press secretary doing some bullshit prayer as if she's some motherfucking Christian, playing the American people for fools. How can we deport these MAGA people to the Philippines? I would rather them be held accountable in this country, but since this country doesn't want to do it, if the Philippines wants to stand up, if they want to stand up and treat these people the way they should be, then let's get MAGA to the Philippines. How about that? I want to start a petition to get all the MAGA influencers, right? Because in the beginning where you didn't really know and whatever, and you didn't realize, well, that time is over. If you're in 2025 and you still got on a goddamn red hat, Officer Tatum, if you still got on that goddamn red hat in 2025, you need to go to the Philippines. You hate America. You hate our Constitution. You are traitors. Some of you are terrorists. Not so much the influencers, but the followers of the influencers. Let's send them to the Philippines. It's time that they have some kind of consequences because, again, their behavior has serious consequences. It's not just jokes, man. They helped elect a madman who is given more power to the billionaires. While people are struggling to pay rent, they don't have health care, they're not making enough money to survive. People are out there hurting. In the Midwest, in the South, in the North, all over this country, people are struggling to survive while these people are making millions of dollars, deceiving the American people with their bullshit, their MAGA fraud. The billionaires' best thing ever is MAGA. Going and fooling the poor into thinking that the billionaire, the very people that they're worried about, rich men north of Richmond, the very rich men north of Richmond, that's who we have the poor people going behind, thinking that they're making things better while they're making it worse. All the things that they are complaining about and suffering, Trump and the clowns around him are making it worse. And they couldn't do it without Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Officer Tatum, Fox News, Newsmax, all these right-wing, Megyn Kelly, all these savages, all these traitors to America. Let's send them to the Philippines. If America won't make these people suffer some kind of consequences for the destruction they're doing to this country, the destruction they're doing to the poor and the lower middle class, people are going to be committing suicide as a result of the actions that is at the end of the road that these MAGA influencers put us on. Right? Kamala Harris, a fraud, somebody that I don't support, wouldn't have been doing this level of destruction to the country. But these fools distracted the poor, talking about, oh, she has a funny laugh, and she's a radical extremist. Radical extremist, my fucking ass. She would have came in office and done bare minimum, which is absolutely unacceptable. But it's certainly much better than burning the whole thing down, firing veterans for no reason, firing some of the best workers we have in our government under the guise of, they're not doing anything, and these people they're just taking our tax dollars. But you're not targeting people who are our low performers. You're just randomly firing people, many of who are some of the best. That makes a lot of sense if you're a billionaire. Send MAGA to the Philippines. Let them finally have some kind of consequences. We cannot have a functioning society where you have people who operate above the law. They just say and do whatever they want, no matter the consequence. I mean, imagine that somehow, through their actions, we end up in nuclear war. And we see American cities nuked, while these multimillionaires like Ben Shapiro move to other countries because they can make their millions from anywhere in the world. They don't have to live anywhere. They can stream their videos from anywhere in the world. It's us, their audience, the regular people who will be left in the ruins. While Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, AON, all these MAGA influencers will be driving around in their nice cars, multiple mansions, because they were allowed to fool the poor and the middle class. Because unlike the rest of society, they exist in a world without consequence. All the rest of us have to watch what we say and do. Who's holding Tim Pool accountable? No one can fire him. No one can fire Ben Shapiro. No one can fire these people. It's not healthy for a society, a functioning society, to have elements of our society operating above the law and outside the scope of the rest of us. We all need to operate in a collaborative manner. A shared respect for other people. This culture of taking money from the poor and funneling it to the rich and getting the poor to help this process, getting them to vote against their own interests. This has to stop. The billionaires are not our friends. I'm not with the radical left, the actual radical left, right, who look at wealth as a bad thing. But I do recognize that in this world, in this country, in order to be a billionaire, you have to be a pretty scumbag person. Because if you're not, the other person is going to be the scumbag person, and then they'll be the billionaire and not you. That's the way it works. That's just the way it works. If you're not going to be the scumbag to become the billionaire, somebody else will. So that means if you made it, chances are very, very high that you are a scumbag, parasite human being. Right? I don't have this left-wing ideology of the wealth itself is a problem. It's not about the wealth. Right? There are good people that can work hard and make a lot of money, but those kind of people will never be a billionaire. Maybe you can point to me the one exception that might be out there, but it ain't Trump, it ain't Elon Musk, it ain't Bloomberg. Just about any of the billionaires we keep hearing talk, it ain't them. They're not the ones. They are the cliche billionaire, the biggest scumbags in the country. They're not our friends. And it's not because of their wealth. It's because of what they took to get that wealth in the first place. It wasn't simply hard work and innovative ideas. It was a little something that people like Vitaly exhibit. I don't care about anybody else but myself. I'm going to trample on anybody to get to the top. I don't care who I hurt. I don't care what damage I do. It's all about me, me, me. If I'm getting more views, I'm getting more money, that's all that matters. If America burns, oh well, I'll just take my millions and move somewhere else. Because I'm above it all. The influencer class will destroy America. The influencer class is destroying America. I say, send the worst of them to the Philippines. Let them handle it since we won't. And MAGA represents some of the worst. Because again, even if you're not officially MAGA, if you're a scumbag person, influencer, you're probably MAGA friendly. Because that's where the scumbags go. The worst of America is going to be MAGA. If you don't care about others, if you're a savage, you're a criminal, you are a con artist, you're going to like MAGA. You're going to look in MAGA and see a lot of people that, hey man, they're just like me. You're going to fit in with MAGA. If you have no ethics, you're going to fit in with MAGA. If you don't care about anything else but yourself and attention and fame and how much money, you're going to fit in with MAGA. The true patriots in this country don't call themselves patriots. They just are. Anyone calling themselves a patriot probably isn't a patriot. It's like people walking around saying they're honest. I'm an honest guy. I'm very honest. I'm an honest. No, honest people are just honest. It's the con artists that walk around saying how honest they are. It's the traitors who refer to themselves as patriots. That's why whenever I see a product and I see them saying Patriots or the company name is Patriots, I know it's probably a scam. Right? It's just like when they sell a product, military grade. This is Baby Channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Are you with me? Should we send MAGA influencers to the Philippines? Or am I the savage?